Google's Gemini 2.0 is making huge waves in the AI world right now, and some are even calling it the OpenAI killer. And honestly, I don't think that's too far-fetched right now, given some of the insane things that you can do with it right now. So today in this video, I'm gonna share with you 9 mind-blowing use cases of Gemini 2.0 for online businesses. So the first thing to know about Gemini 2.0 is that it's completely free to use. So if you go to Google's AI Studio, I'll link to it in the description below, but it's totally free to use. So when you go here, you'll see right on the screen that you can start with a chat. This is your normal AI chat. And in the upper right-hand corner, if you go to the model dropdown, you can click on any of the models that Google has released for Gemini. At the time recording this, they've just released this 2.0 Flash Thinking Experimental model. Great name, right? This is akin to GPT's O1. This is your chain of reasoning, your thought process sort of model. But we're going to be talking mostly today about the Gemini 2.0 Flash experimental model, and we're going to go over to the stream real-time option in the upper left-hand corner here. So you see in the screen Multimodal Live API with Gemini 2.0. This is where the magic is happening right now with Gemini 2.0. And this is what we're going to dive into right now. As you can see here, you can talk to Gemini, you can show Gemini. So if you have a webcam on your computer, or you can also access this on your phone, by the way. So you can use your phone camera and show Gemini things, and it will describe it. You can ask questions about what you're looking at. It's really, really cool. We're going to be looking at a lot today with the share your screen option, and we're going to be able to talk to Gemini based on what we're looking at on the computer screen. So let's start doing that. So we're going to click on share your screen, and we get to choose which screen that we want to share. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner, the red buttons here. Microphone obviously allows you to talk, and the camera is the screen sharing part. So I'm going to share my main screen here, and I'm going to open up a sample P&L. So for this first use case, we're going to use Gemini 2.0 to analyze a profit and loss statement from your online business. So what we're looking at here today is a sample profit and loss. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Google here to analyze this P&L, to discuss, identify trends with it, see if it can share with me what the profit margin percentage is, and then also how to increase the profit margin. So, hey, Google, we're looking at a profit and loss statement of an online business right now. Can you see that?
Sure. The video shows a spreadsheet with a profit and loss statement. The speaker mentions using Gemini 2.0 to analyze the information and identify trends. They would also like to know the profit margin percentage and how to increase it. Is there anything else you would like to know or explore regarding this profit and loss statement?
Yeah, I want you to take a look at this P&L, and number one, tell me what the profit margin percentage is.
Okay, I see that you would like to know the profit margin percentage from the P&L. The net profit is $19,300, and the revenue is $75,000. Meaning the profit margin percentage is 25.7%. Would you like to explore further regarding this?
Yeah, can you tell me how I can increase that profit margin based on what you're looking at in the profit and loss statement? I want you to prioritize the top 3 things that we could do to increase that profit margin.
Certainly, based on the profit and loss statement, here are the top 3 things you could prioritize to increase your profit margin. First, you could increase product sales, which is currently the highest revenue driver at $60,000. Second, you could reduce costs of goods sold, as that has the highest spend at $25,000. Lastly, you could decrease wages, which currently is $15,000. Do you want me to elaborate on these or explore other ways to increase profit margin?
No, this is great. Thanks.
You're welcome. Let me know if you have any more questions.
All right, so now I'm back in the AI studio here, and you can see the conversations that were going back and forth. Now, over in the right-hand column here, you can choose the output format. Obviously, I was choosing audio to be able to speak to the AI. I can also choose text, and what that does is it types out what the conversation is and what Google is saying. I like the option of text because I get to see what's being said on the screen, but it's not as easy to have a back and forth conversation with the AI model. So if you want to see what is being said during the conversation, you will have to go and click the three little dots next to the audio file here and click on download. And then you can go over to like Notebook LM or riverside.fm/transcription and have it transcribed. That part is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I prefer the audio back and forth because you can have a conversation with it, and then you can go back if you want to and get the transcript of the files. It's not ideal right now, but I really like the ability to talk back and forth with the AI. By the way, if you like this type of information and you're an online business and you're looking to learn more about how to leverage AI in your business so that you can work a whole lot less in the business and increase profit, while you're doing that, I want to invite you to join me in our school community called the AI Playbook Premium Community. As you can see here on the screen, it's an amazing community that we're just talking AI all day, every day. This is a place for you to ask questions and connect with other like-minded online businesses. We have weekly calls, classroom with all kinds of workshops and lessons and courses and stuff like that here. I want to invite you to join us inside the AI Playbook community, and I will link to it in the description below. For this next use case, speaking of improving business performance, using Gemini 2.0 and the screen sharing option is an awesome way to analyze your ad campaign stats. So if you're running any kind of ads, whether it be Meta ads or Google ads, sometimes it's kind of difficult to look at the stats and make sense of what's going on. Well, you can use Gemini 2.0 and sharing the screen option to optimize your ad campaigns. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Yeah, so Google, what you're looking at here is a Meta ads report. And what I want to do is I want you to help me figure out where we are underperforming. I want you to suggest ways to increase return on ad spend and get more for our ad dollar.
Certainly, you're showing me a Meta ads report spreadsheet, and you want me to help you figure out where you are underperforming. You would also like me to suggest ways to increase return on ad spend and get more for your ad dollar. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I understand. I'll take a look at the data to identify areas of underperformance and suggest ways to improve your return on ad spend.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, looking at the spreadsheet, it seems like the return on ad spend, or ROAS, is pretty varied, ranging from 1.5 to 5.5. I see that some days have a lower ROAS. For example, December 16th and 17th both show a ROAS under 2, which seems to be an area that is underperforming compared to days like December 2nd, where the ROAS was 5.5. Do you want to dig in deeper on any of these dates?
Yeah, I want you to tell me how we can increase the overall ROAS for this campaign and reduce wasted ad spend.
Okay, you want to increase the overall ROAS for this campaign and reduce wasted ad spend. There are a few ways we could try to do this. First, I would suggest we look at your cost per lead. For instance, the cost per lead on December 16th was $5.88, which appears to be the highest in your data.
All right, so as you can see here, one of the annoying things about it, which I also understand what the AI is doing, but it always wants to confirm with you what you're asking for, which I get. It's just a little bit annoying because it kind of slows things down, but it was analyzing that spreadsheet and starting to give me suggestions on how to improve return on ad spend and reduce wasted ad budget, which I think is super cool and a great use case for us online businesses. For this next use case, we're going to use Gemini 2.0 and the screen sharing feature to analyze our presentation. So whether you're giving a webinar, a sales pitch, or a talk in front of a group of people, you can have it analyze while you practice your presentation with it, and it'll give you feedback in real time about the presentation and how you're delivering it. Let's check this out. So again, we go over to share your screen. We're going to pick the screen, and this time we're going to choose my keynote slides. Hey, Google,
Okay,
so this is a
it
presentation.
sounds like you're going to be sharing your keynote slides. Is there anything you'd like to do with them?
Yeah, I want you to analyze the delivery of giving this presentation and also give me some feedback on the delivery and the clarity of message. Can you do that?
Sure, I can analyze the delivery of your presentation and provide feedback on both the delivery and clarity of the message. I'll take a look at the slides and give you my thoughts.
All right, cool. First, before I begin, do you have any questions for me that you need to know about in order to do this task with me?
Thanks, that's a good question. Do you want me to focus on any specific aspects of the presentation delivery, like pacing, tone, or transitions? Also, is there any particular message within the presentation that you are most concerned about in terms of clarity?
Yeah, I want to make sure that I am motivating the people that I'm giving this presentation to, that they can use AI in their online business, even if they are non-tech savvy or maybe a little afraid of using AI.
Okay, it sounds like you want to make sure that your audience feels empowered and motivated to use AI in their online businesses, even if they're not tech savvy or are a bit hesitant about it. I will keep that in mind as I analyze your presentation.
All right, cool. So on the first slide here, I talk about AI myths and sharing the fact that they do not need to be tech savvy or no coding to use AI. They often think that AI tools are too complicated, that they're going to be wasting time trying to figure it out. And it's just that one more thing to learn. But then I go right into why AI matters for online businesses. It's going to help you reduce time. You can delegate repetitive tasks, thus helping you scale your business. By doing these things, it's going to free up your time as the CEO of your business to be able to work on the higher impact things and the higher leverage activities. And AI, by the way, is no longer a nice to know at this point. It is a must know.
Okay, so on the first slide, you're addressing some common myths about AI. And then the second slide is about why AI matters for online businesses, mentioning that it can help reduce time, delegate tasks, and scale a business. It's good that you're addressing potential hesitations and following it up with the benefits.
Any feedback that you would change there?
The slides are clear and well organized, with a good contrast between the text and background. To make it even more impactful, you could consider using slightly larger fonts for the main points on the Why AI Matters for You slide, and also perhaps use a more dynamic image background instead of a solid color on the AI myth slide to increase engagement.
I think that's super cool that you can leverage this to practice your presentations, to get feedback on the delivery, the content, the messaging, the design, anything you want to know about the slides. You can be leveraging the new Gemini 2.0 in order to do that. Now, while we're on the topic of leveraging Gemini 2.0 to give you feedback, I make a lot of automations in make.com. So we're often coming across a lot of error messages within these scenarios that I'm building. Well, leveraging the screen sharing option in Gemini 2.0 in order to troubleshoot these issues is an amazing use case for this technology. Let's check it out. So again, we're clicking screen share and we'll go over to make.
Okay, I will go over to you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah, Google. So we're looking at an automation that I built in make.com, and I'm getting an error message whenever I try to run the automation. Can you help troubleshoot it? I'm going to go ahead and click run right now, and you should see an error message up on the screen. Can you help me with this?
Sure, I can help you with that. It looks like you're using make.com to create an automation and are getting an error message when you try to run it. I see the run button on the bottom left, so when you click on that, you'll be able to show me what happens.
Yeah, exactly. So let me do that again for you.
Okay, I'm ready to see it. Please run the automation again.
All right, there it is.
Okay, I see the error message at the bottom right of the screen. It says, cannot read properties of null reading device. Do you know what this means?
No, that's why I'm asking you. Can you help me resolve this issue?
Okay, I understand. The error message, cannot read properties of null reading device, suggests that the automation is trying to access a property called device of a variable that is currently null or undefined. Could you tell me a bit more about what the automation is supposed to do? This would help me understand where the device property should be defined.
Well, first thing to know is that as soon as I click run, the error message pops up. So let's assume that it's in the first step here.
Okay, that's helpful. So the error occurs right after you click run, which suggests that the issue might be in the initial steps of your automation. The first step you have is the Cloud Convert module. Is that correct?
Yes, as you can see on the screen.
Okay, thanks. Let's investigate the Cloud Convert module then. Could you open up its configuration settings by clicking on it? I'm curious to see what input parameters are set up for that. Okay, I see the configuration settings for the Cloud Convert module. It looks like it's asking you to create a webhook. Is that something you expected?
Yeah, that's right. Can you just tell me how to resolve this issue?
Okay, it seems the issue is that the Cloud Convert module requires a webhook to be set up, but it hasn't been configured yet. To resolve this, you'll need to create a webhook. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, to create a webhook, click the Create a Webhook button inside the Cloud Convert module. Once it is created, the error message should not appear.
So if you're building any kind of automations using make.com or Zapier, by the way, we make a ton of done-for-you automations for the members of my AI Playbook Premium School community. Again, I'll link to it in the description below. But if you're doing any kind of automation building in these tools and you get a lot of errors that don't necessarily make sense to you, you can leverage the screen sharing technology here in Gemini 2.0 to help troubleshoot these errors. Especially when you get an error message, you're like, I have no idea what this means. You can simply ask Google and it will help walk you through it and troubleshoot it with you. For this next use case, if you're anything like me, you often have 30, 40, 50 tabs open on your screen. And if you struggle with ADHD at all, like I do, this is going to be a huge help for you. Leveraging 2.0 and the screen sharing capabilities to help you organize what you've got going on your screen and to help you work through setting up your priorities based on what you're looking at on the screen with all the tabs open. Check this out. Hey Google, we're looking at a whole bunch of tabs I have open on my window here. There's several half-finished tasks and I'm feeling really stuck. Can you help me make sense of all this and figure out where to even start?
Sure, I can help with that. It sounds like you have a lot of open tabs and tasks and that you're feeling stuck. I will do my best to help you make sense of it all and figure out where to start. Do you want to start with the tabs or the tasks?
Where do you think we should start? I'm really overwhelmed with everything I've got going on the screen.
Okay, it sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed, so let's tackle this together. Perhaps we can start by focusing on one thing at a time. Would it be helpful to begin by looking at the open tabs or the list of tasks?
Yeah, let's start with the open tabs.
All right, let's start with the open tabs. Could you tell me which tabs you have open? I see some on the left side of the screen, and it looks like you have a Stream Real-Time tab open too.
Yeah, exactly. What you're looking at, the tabs that are open are currently open right now, which is adding to the overwhelm. And I need just some clearer focus and a structured approach to tackling this overwhelm.
Okay, it sounds like you're looking for a more focused and structured approach to tackling the overwhelm. The tabs you have open on the left are Google AI Studio, To Read Watch, Bookmarked, Working on Now, Zapier AI Actions plus GPTs.
So this is another cool use case, leveraging Gemini 2.0 and the screen sharing. If you have all these tabs open, and you've got half-done tasks and everything like that, you can leverage it to look at your screen and help you organize things and make sense of it and reduce that overwhelm. Speaking of getting help with technology, Gemini 2.0 and the screen sharing can really help you understand software or tools or websites that you don't really know what you're doing on that site. So I'm going to use Replit as an example, because even though Replit is super easy to use in terms of what it can do for you, navigating Replit is not my strong suit. So we're going to test out Gemini 2.0 and help me walk through Replit and how to build a tool using Replit. Hey Google, what we're looking at here is the Replit website, and I'm not really sure how to use this site. I'm pretty new to it. So I'm sharing my screen now. Can you help me understand how to use Replit in building something that I've always been thinking about for the business?
Sure, I can help you with that. Replit is a platform that allows you to write and run code in your browser, and it offers many options for different kinds of projects you might want to build. To get started, you'll need to provide a description of what you want to build in the text box, labeled Describe an app or site you want to create, and then click the button labeled Start Building. Can you give me some more information on what your goal is with Replit?
Yeah, I want to build an app it's a special onboarding app for my online membership so that I can personalize the onboarding experience. Is there a template that Replit has that I can use to get started with this?
Okay, it sounds like you want to build an onboarding app for your online membership using Replit, and you're wondering if there's a template you can use to get started. Replit has many templates for many purposes. If you click Choose a Template at the top of the page, it will display them. Do you see any that might be a good fit for you? Or do you want to provide some further details about your project so that I can give some suggestions?
So I have no idea. I know that these are coding languages. I have no idea, though, what any of these mean in terms of templates. So maybe it's not the best strategy for me. Maybe it's going back here to the Create with Replit agent.
You're right. The template options may not be the best fit for you at this stage. It looks like the Create with Replit agent option is a good alternative to explore. With that option, you will describe what you want to create in the text box, and Replit will generate something based on that description. Do you want me to explain how the Replit agent works, or do you just want to get started?
So by sharing your screen with the software that you're trying to figure out how to use, Gemini 2.0 can walk you through and give you guidance on what steps that you need to be taking in order to use the software. I mean, how cool is that? And this kind of guidance isn't just for software. It can help you with your website design too, or landing pages. So I pulled up my website here and I want Gemini 2.0 to analyze this website for design, for copy, for flow, etc., and give me feedback on what changes I can make to make it better. Hey Google, what you're looking at here is my website. Can you give me feedback on usability, design, overall message, starting with the homepage and working through the site structure?
Sure, I can do that. The website you're showing has a man with his arms outstretched on the right and text in the center that reads, "I teach online businesses how to use AI to work less and profit more," with additional text beneath that. The page also has a navigation menu on the top. Do you want me to go deeper into the site structure?
Can you start with the design? What do you think about the design? I want to make this as super simple and a clean UI as possible.
Okay, I see what you're asking. The website design is pretty simple, with a limited number of colors, and the text is easy to read. The layout is also very straightforward, so it seems like it could achieve that simple and clean user interface you're looking for. Is there anything about the design in particular you'd like me to focus on?
Well, I want you to tell me what can be improved.
Okay, I understand. One thing that could be improved is the color contrast between the text and the background. While it's readable, increasing the contrast would make it even easier to see. Additionally, the image of the person could...
So because I'm not an expert in usability or UI design or anything like that, I can leverage the technology to show my website and go through every single page on the site or landing pages and have Gemini 2.0 give me feedback on the design, usability, messaging, the flow of the pages, etc., to suggest the changes that I should be making to it. Before I share the last two use cases, you might be wondering, well, yeah, you can do a lot of these things with ChatGPT because they just rolled out screen sharing and the ability to do something similar to what I'm showing you here with Gemini 2.0. In fact, OpenAI announced it like a day after Gemini 2.0 was released, which I find interesting. So yes, you can do a lot of the same things that we're doing here today with Gemini 2.0 over with ChatGPT and the screen sharing option and using the advanced voice mode. However, you are limited to the number of interactions that you can have with it per day. Whereas here with Gemini 2.0, and you get like 1,500 requests per day with Gemini 2.0, along with 1 million token context window. So that alone is a huge differentiator with Gemini 2.0, and not to mention, it's totally free to use Gemini 2.0 in the Google AI Studio. So it's free to use and it's super, super fast. Now for this next use case, let's zoom out a little bit and look at our business a little bit more holistically and look at how the business operates. So we can use the screen sharing functionality within 2.0 to look at the bottlenecks within our workflows. So what I'm gonna do with it is I'm gonna screen share my Notion dashboard and ask it for recommendations on how to improve my workflows and how I have my projects set up, etc. Hey Google, what you're looking at here is my Notion dashboard. And so what I want you to do is analyze what you're seeing and tell me and propose some possible improvements for workflow. How do I simplify this? Are there easier ways to display what I'm currently showing you? I go by the para method, so projects, areas, resources, and archives. So if you can take a look at what I'm showing you and give me your suggestions for improving the workflows that I've set up here.
Sure, you've got a Notion dashboard here named Rick HQ with a task tracker. It has several tasks listed with different priorities, deadlines, statuses, notes, and areas. You want me to analyze it and propose improvements to your workflow and suggest easier ways to display this information. Additionally, I see that you use the PayRA method, which includes projects, areas, resources, and archives. Do you want me to focus on something specific?
Not necessarily. I want you to look at the overall, how I have set up the dashboard here and give me your suggestions for improving the workflow that I have set up.
Okay, I understand you'd like me to analyze the overall setup of your Notion dashboard and give you suggestions for improving your workflow. I can definitely do that. Let's start with the layout of your dashboard. The task tracker seems to be in the center, with favorites on the left and images at the bottom. Do you find the layout to be efficient?
Yeah, I think so, but I'd like to hear what you have to say about it.
Okay, since you are happy with the layout, let's focus on the task tracker itself. It has columns for task name, priority, deadline, status, notes, and area. This setup is quite detailed. Would you find it helpful to use a board view to see these tasks categorized by status such as to do, in progress, and done?
Yeah, I have a board view, which is right here. So I already have that.
All right, since you already have a board view, let's explore other possible improvements. Looking at the columns in your table view, I see you have a notes column that sometimes contains external links. Would it be useful to separate the external links into a dedicated links column? That way, you could click on links directly rather than having to go into the note.
But do you have any bigger suggestions for me? So obviously this will work with any tool that you are using, any project management tool, or maybe you've got workflow diagrams that you've made. You can have the AI look at it and identify bottlenecks and inefficiencies and suggestions for improvements, just like it just did with my Notion dashboard. And I'm absolutely going to be implementing the suggestions that it's making. And then finally, when you're ready to bring your team together for planning, you can use the AI and the screen sharing option in Gemini 2.0 to share with it your brainstorming, your digital whiteboard, or your planning tool, and have it make suggestions to you for making improvements, filling in the gaps, coming up with ideas, basically making sense of your brain dump of ideas on your screen. So let's do that right now. Hey Google, I'm sharing with you a brainstorming board for a team project where we're going to be doing an OKR workshop. Can you sort of look at what I've put together so far and the team has put together for summarizing the ideas that we've got there, identifying any missing gaps, and potentially helping us organize what we can be doing better with this board?
Sure, you're sharing a brainstorming board for a team project. Okay, it seems that you would like me to help you summarize the ideas, identify any gaps, and help organize what you can do better with this board. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do my best to help you. To start, could you tell me more about the project and what your team is hoping to achieve with this workshop?
Yeah, we want to be rolling out OKRs, so objectives and key results, to the rest of the organization. So we're putting together a workshop to deliver to the rest of the organization, and we are planning that right now with what you're seeing on the screen.
Thanks. So it sounds like you're creating a workshop to roll out OKRs, which are objectives and key results, to the rest of your organization. It seems like you are using this whiteboard to plan out that workshop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. It looks like you've got a good start with the different sections. Would you like me to start by summarizing the ideas currently on the board?
No, let's go right into how you would improve this.
Okay, so you would like to skip the summary and instead get my recommendations on how to improve the workshop plan on this board. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I can do that. I noticed that you have sections for objectives and key results. Have you considered adding a section for initiatives? This would be where you list out the specific projects or actions that will help achieve those key results.
So again, another super powerful use case when you have a whole bunch of random ideas on your screen that you want to get organized, you can use the AI to walk you through its suggestions for making improvements and better organizing your ideas and filling in the gaps of things that you might be missing. Now, before I wrap up, I want to show you one more thing inside the studio. So if we go back to the main screen, if you will, here in the Google AI Studio, you'll notice, number one, that when you click the drop down, you do have access to all the different Gemini models when you go over to the stream real time, which we did. And then also one of the new features here in Gemini 2.0, if you want to be searching the internet, for example, and you want to get sources included in your search results, just come over here to the right-hand side here and turn on grounding. You can see here, source, Google search. So whatever I search for in here is going to search just as if Google would. And also it's gonna be super, super fast, by the way. And it'll give you the search results with the sources linking out to wherever the information is coming from. So as you can see here, Google is back. They are so back. And I'm really excited about how quickly Google is rolling out these things, and really excited about the possibilities that Gemini 2.0 brings with the agentic features that are going to be coming out in 2025. Really, really excited for all of that. Again, if you're an online business and you're looking to leverage AI to work a whole lot less and increase your profit, then I want to invite you to start a 7-day free trial over in my school community called the AI Playbook Premium. Again, I'll link to it in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.